are using so many supplies today. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're setting up my September pages and we are using the acrylographs from the Cool Fall collection, the Cool Fall set in red and this like pretty blue. My Staedtler 0.05 pen that I always use. The Tombows in these earthy colors, 177, N95, 158, and 992. So that's this green, beige, gray combination. And then I'm using 5 Staedtler Triplus fineliners in dark gray, orange, brown, olive, and light gray, as you see here. And then also the pencil that I use for everything. So we're gonna jump into these September pages in my Archer and Olive Stardust B5 dot journal. I'm really enjoying the August pages, which I'm going to show you first. So as a reminder, these are my August pages and you can watch that setup. I did it about a month ago, and I'm doing these pages early. This spread here, I'm really enjoying this scheduling option. Absolutely critical for the type of project that I'm on right now. Anyway, I digress. We're getting into September, and the theme here, if you can't already tell, is fairy mushroom houses. So it's very like Enchanted Forest, a lot more detailed than my typical themes have been recently, but I honestly can say that I love the way that it turned out. I think it's super cute and whimsical and fun and fantastic, and just really easy to recreate. So I've created this little like cover page here with the mushroom cottage with the little side cottage and a little tower in the back, like Rapunzel fairy situation, and there are snails and fairy silhouettes, and there's little wisps of smoke coming out of the chimney, and I just absolutely love it. So I'm making the mushroom caps this red acrylograph from the Cool Fall collection. I believe it's the Cool Fall collection, yes, by Archer and Olive, and I just love the creamy paint texture quality that these pens have. As soon as I saw the color of red that these came in, I knew immediately what I wanted to do for my September theme. So I knew what I wanted to do like in July for September. The only thing I don't absolutely love about this is I got this dimension wrong in my brain for this little window dormer situation. So the other ones in the spreads look much better. So I go in with the 992 Tombow, trying not to make it too streaky for the bottom stems of the mushrooms. I forget my mushroom anatomy, but I wanted to use the acrylographs for both. I couldn't find an acrylograph color in this set that really gave me the color I was going for. I actually wish that this was slightly lighter. I like how it turns out in the end, but this is the color, this 992, that I use in my coffee themes for like the sleeves on a to-go coffee cup. Like it's a cardboard brown in my mind, so I couldn't reconcile that with the body of the mushroom situation. What I did come up with is if I layer the light gray Tombow and then this cardboard brown Tombow over top of it, I get this earthier brown that I used for the wood throughout these pages. This is the September title. Actually, this little, originally it was a welcome sign, and I updated it to include the word September so it would act as the title, because I couldn't find a cute place to put the title in this scene that I was creating. The green Tombows and the olive Staedtler Triplus fineliner I use to color these leaves, and I know what you're thinking, I should have done the leaves in like a fall palette, you know, orange, red, brown, but with all the browns that are already involved here and the red in the caps, I wanted to provide some contrast. Thus, I went for these not as green, these more muted, earthy green tones to evoke like a late summer, early fall feeling, which is definitely the case in Eastern Virginia in September. We don't start to get the changing colors until way late in October, so this is appropriate for where I live. The little snail guy, really just a swirl and then making a little snail body and then just differentiating the shell from his little body. And then I use the blue acrylograph, this smoky blue color, to do silhouettes of these fairies. Now, I am no artist and I definitely don't do well with like the female form or body proportions in general, so I was more than happy to settle for a fairy-esque silhouette that doesn't quite look like butterflies because there's different curves there and the legs are really long. They're fairies, okay? I made fairy silhouettes, so I did as a way to cheat and make it look like fairies but not have to be very talented. The quote for the month is "Summer said in shades of blue, let me be young a few days more. Walk forward, autumn whispered," I think it is. There's a colorful horizon to explore. And that is a poem by Angie something I can't pronounce. But absolutely loved the poem. I love the idea that it evokes that sometimes going into the later seasons doesn't have to be a terrifying thing. This is appropriate as I, at the time this video is posted, will have just turned 34. So that's, you know, every year gets a little more traumatizing, right? Moving on to the calendar spread, I did my standard 6 boxes tall by 5 boxes wide, starting on a Monday for the week, and I will do what I do every month and highlight the top row and put the date number on there. The font, I guess this is a good time to talk about it, is just really a cursive with like extra little swoopies to make it seem like vines or like fairy tale writing, I guess, kind of. One thing that works really well for the mushroom is these little lines coming out from the center towards the edge in like a fan to give it the look of like the bottom sides of the mushrooms with all the little blades of fungus, I guess. And then all the mushrooms have different size circles, you know, different size spots that are left white, so there's not really a uniformity to that. If, you know, I imagine if I drew them all together in one scene, one giant mushroom village, that it would just look really cozy and really natural in the fact that it's not completely uniform. So this one has very few dots on it, but it might be one of my favorites. This one kind of reminds me of the Mario guy, Toadstool from Super Mario. smeared that last fairy. But this doodle here is, I think, the one I'm the most proudest of. It's not the most complicated, but it's the one that I like the most how it turned out. It looking like an actual wooden sign with the little tiny mushroom and the grass growing out of it. It just turned out super cute, and I love it so much. So yeah, same process, going in with a streaky layer of the gray and then a streaky layer of the cardboard brown to give it this aged wooden vibe. See how cute did that turn out? These day of the week headers, this is the only time that I use the orange Triplus fineliner. It doesn't come up in any of the other sketches or pages other than the quote on the main page in the word colorful and here in the headers for the days of the week. And I didn't alternate like I normally do the weekly highlight for the top bar because with all the brown on the page, which is the other color I was going to use, I just thought that having it all gray would make it more balanced. But yeah, for the habit tracker, I did my standard mini calendar layout, and I'm tracking 6 habits. And this is the month where we will be returning to school, my daughter will, and back to a routine at the end of summer. So a run log has also been incorporated, as I'm hoping that I'll find more time in the mornings to get out and go for runs after I drop her off at school before I have to go to work. So yeah, the running log, as you'll see in just a moment, is going to include just a lot of detail. It's going to cover what day it was, how far I ran, what my time was, if I had eaten breakfast that morning or what I had eaten, and any other notes about the run, just comfort levels. It's also going to include the temperature of that day, the weather, so like if it was super humid or if it was really warm versus a cooler, breezy day, just to kind of see how that affects my run times. But that's basically it. I'm probably not going to run that many times in September, but we can set really high goals and then just be okay with not fully meeting them, right? And that brings us to the mood tracker. Now, fair warning, I am not tracing in or drawing in all of these fairies and leaves that I have floating around on the page, because since I am doing the silhouette of the fairies, I don't want to have the black outline from a pen or anything. So this page I am just doing the actual doodle, and the snail is for the 30. I think I put the 31st, like not realizing that September only has 30 days, which I apologize in advance, you don't get to see me color in the snail. I did the same thing on a later page, which you'll see, where I had my affirmations line a day style page, and I write in pencil all the way down to 31, but I catch it and I erase it, and I don't actually pen it in, thankfully. But yeah, I was, just under the crazy impression that September had 31 days for like this whole video, and I blame the fact that I was doing this like right as August was starting. So anyway, I did go in after I finished filming and like color that snail, because he definitely doesn't need to be one of the moods. But I made this giant like 2-story mushroom house with the smaller dots because there's like 30 fairies flying around, so it's gonna have to be a bigger house with lots of room, right? It made sense to me. Don't ask. And then I'll have the key for the different moods, the acrylographs, and a couple of Tombows. And that brings us to the brain dump, which I always keep really simple, just a title, a border, and a single doodle off in the corner somewhere so it's not in the way. And so that, and then this anxiety tracker, with some last minute fairy silhouettes at the bottom will finish us off. And I will see you back for the flip through.
Perfect.
That is it. So we'll do a final flip through. Here's my cover page and quote for September, the calendar. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you haven't already, like 98% of my views come from non-subscribers. So if you haven't already, I would definitely appreciate subscribing, liking the video. Let me know in the comments which of these themes was your favorite, or these spreads rather, and what theme you're doing for September. And I will see you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day.